Hi, Shawdra. I was calling on behalf of your matchmaker. We wanted to let you know that Scott would love to meet with you. He did get your phone number today. All right, give us a call after you two meet. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Do you hear me? I'm talking to you across the water, across the deep blue ocean.
So when I first met Scott, the first thing that impressed me was when he called to ask me on a date. He didn't ask to meet me somewhere. He asked if he could actually pick me up. I was really impressed when I first met him. He, first of all, he looked hot when he came to the door. He stuck out his hand to shake my hand, and no way was I going for a handshake. So I gave him a hug. Took me on a fabulous first date.
I decided to seek out a professional dating service as opposed to something online. She was the very first person that they presented to me as a potential candidate. Went and picked her up at her place for this first date. It was right there immediately. As she answered the door, her personality had this way of just putting me at complete ease.
We got in the car and we went up to Park City, and on the way up, he was just chatting away, and it wasn't just all him, it was both, chatting back and forth, really had great social skills and really enjoyed talking. And I remember that was my first impression is, oh my gosh, found somebody who likes to talk, this is great. And we don't really remember what we did because we talked so much and we're enjoying each other that we actually went to Park City Museum, but we didn't see a thing in there.
Well, our first kiss was a while in happening. In fact, I think we figured out it was about 5 weeks after our first date. And to give it more perspective, is we'd gone out on a lot of dates. And I was enjoying so much the relationship that I was a little nervous. I was actually a little bit afraid.
Most of the guys that I would go out with, first date, even though I'd say, I'm not really the type of girl that wants to kiss you on the first date, some of them would go in for it anyway. But Scott, he was a gentleman, man. I didn't even have to tell him not to kiss me on my first date. But I did have to tell him that maybe it's time now after 5 weeks. But anyway, the first kiss was worth waiting 5 weeks for.
One thing I was really looking for and that I found in her is she is a powerful, a very confident, very strong-willed woman. And I actually like that and I enjoy that.
He really has that unique ability to be aggressive, very successful in his business, knows how to be that type of a personality where you're aggressive and yet at the same time so soft and gentle with a woman. I'd looked for 17 years for a guy, and I would wait another 17 for a guy like that. My favorite physical attribute in Scott, he's such a man. He's just chest and broad shoulders, and I can just hide away and I feel little when he holds me.
Shawdra has a unique characteristic, physical trait, if you can call it that I've not even told her this, that I really like, and it's the way she walks. And I love watching her walk because she does it with such a light step and with so much energy. Sometimes it's almost as if she's not quite hitting the ground with each step. And I actually will hold back sometimes just to watch her walk because her whole body is involved in her walking. It's not, it's not like a model down a runway. It's a definite unique gait that she has, but it's one that lets you know she's going somewhere and she wants to get there, and she does it with a lot of energy and a lot of personality.
So the ways that I think we're most different is Scott is very organized and a planner. He's an engineer, so everything is on time. and planned out, and I am fly by the seat of my pants.
Shawdra and I share a lot of similarities. Probably a general term to describe those would be our basic value system. We are very passionate about our families. We both have very strong spiritual background. We also are very similar in we don't like to be idle. We spend all of our time doing something productive. We're always working on the next thing, whatever it might be. A lot of planning went into the proposal. I had to kind of dig out of her what she wanted. It was she did want to include our immediate family, so my children, grandchildren, her children and grandchildren as well.
So the proposal that Scott did was really incredible. He planned out very well this treasure hunt. And at each scene were some of each of the kids at each place. He had a designated driver, which was his son Landon, and Susie, and they were just absolutely fun in between going to the different places. And then we ended up at the Joseph Smith Memorial, and so he was there and got on one knee in front of everybody in the restaurant and asked me to marry him, and I said yes. One of the things that Scott does that's hilarious and very unique to Scott is sometimes you'll be somewhere, like our second date, we were watching this really fantastic Star Trek movie and he was totally gone, snoring the whole bit.
And so I've fallen asleep on a few dates in inopportune moments.
But the funniest was in the middle of a kiss. He fell asleep.
I'm not going to deny it, but I'm not going to confirm it either. So if there's one thing that we're working on together is I think I've been late to 2 or 3 events in my entire life. She has a tendency to be late to everything except probably 2 or 3 events in her life. Am I going to be in trouble?
Who do I think wears the pants in the family, or who will? Scott definitely wears the pants and they look good. Okay, that's all I know. Because we have this joke about his pants. He used to wear these super baggy pants. And I got him to wear tighter ones and he's like, they're painted on.
If I had to say, I think because of my basic personality, she's going to be a little more likely to, by the classic term, wear the pants in the family.
What I really cherish in Scott is his ability to join the two families, the deep love that he has for me, and I can feel it.
The way she interacts with my children and my grandchildren is just incredible. So when we show up to maybe babysit for one of my kids, we come into the home, my grandkids run right by me, right to Shawdra, because people just immediately fall in love with her. She's got that personality that is magnetic, and that is going to make our marriage and our relationship incredible.